Hi, this is Gary with MacMost Now. On today's episode, let's take a look at today's Apple announcements. So today's announcement was all about the iPhone and iOS 7. So let's start with iOS 7. iOS 7, which has been in testing for a long time, so you've probably heard a lot about it, will come out on September 18th. It's going to be a free upgrade, and it's going to be for anybody who's using an iPad 2 or newer, or an iPhone 4 or newer, or an iPod Touch 5th generation or newer. On the 18th, you'll be able to upgrade for free to iOS 7. There are a lot of new features in iOS 7, of course. The biggest one is going to be the redesign. Things look a lot different. There's a flat design that affects a lot of apps like Mail, Safari, Clock, Calendar, Contacts. And in addition, there's new control centers and notification centers that you'll be able to access that overlay the screen. So there's a lot of changes, and we'll be covering that in detail after iOS 7 comes out on September 18th. Apple CEO Tim Cook also talked about 5 major iOS apps. They are Pages, Keynote, Numbers, iMovie, and iPhoto. Now these apps all cost a little something in the App Store, but Apple's now going to make them free when you buy a new device. So if you're buying a new device from now on, whether it's an iPhone, an iPod Touch, or an iPad, you'll be able to get these for free when you set up the new device. So let's look at the new iPhone, or the new iPhones, because there are going to be 2 models now. There's the iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S. The iPhone 5C is the cheaper version. It's made with a plastic case, and it comes in a whole set of colors. In addition, it basically has the same specs as the existing iPhone 5. Matter of fact, the iPhone 5 is going away. Previously, Apple has kept the old iPhone around as a cheaper version, sometimes for free. Apple is still keeping around the iPhone 4S for that purpose. You can get an 8 megabyte 4S for free with a lot of plans from carriers. But there'll be no more iPhone 5. Instead, the iPhone 5C replaces it with pretty much the same specifications, the same processor, screen size, camera specs, pretty much the same as the iPhone 5. But the price does come down. It's going to be $99 for the basic 16 gigabyte model and $199 for the 32 gig model. So those prices, of course, assume you're getting a plan from a major US carrier. Now the iPhone 5S is a true upgrade to the iPhone because things like the processor have been upgraded. There's a new processor. The A7 processor should be much faster. In addition, there's lots of new things like a better camera with support for all sorts of cool features. The new camera, for instance, is going to support up to 120 frames per second video, so you can do slow motion. And there's going to be burst photography, so you can take up to 10 photos in a second. And there's going to be a lot built into iOS 7 to support this. For instance, when you do the burst photography, it'll try to pick out the best photo from there, but it'll allow you to browse through the photos and select which one's the best or save several of them. For slow-mo, you should be able to go through the video you just took and then pick which parts you want to be at regular speed and which parts you want to be in slow motion, so you can create some interesting videos with the new camera. The biggest new feature of the iPhone 5S will, of course, be the fingerprint sensor. They're calling this Touch ID, and basically it changes the home button into something that can sense your fingerprint. And this is going to be used in 2 ways. One, it will allow you to unlock your phone without entering a passcode. It'll detect your fingerprint when you touch it. And the second way will be to authenticate things like, for instance, when you're making a purchase. Instead of having to enter in your Apple ID, you should be able to actually touch it and knows that you are you. Now the iPhone 5S is going to be a little more expensive, but comparable to what we're paying now for the iPhone 5. It's going to be $199, $299, and $399 for the 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte versions. It's also going to come in 3 colors. It'll come in a black, they're calling it space gray, a gold, and a silver color. Apple also announced today cases for these iPhones. So Apple's really getting into the case business again, like they did with the bumpers. These are going to be more normal looking full-size cases. There are ones for the 5C that cost $29 and ones for the 5S that cost $39. The 5C's got interesting looking ones because there's holes in them. It's kind of got a pattern on the back where you can see the color of your phone through the case, but you can actually get a case that's a different color, so you can kind of mix and match colors, create a somewhat unique look to your phone. So the new iPhones are going to be available on September 20th. But you can also pre-order the iPhone 5C on September 13th. It doesn't appear that you could pre-order the iPhone 5S. You just have to wait till the 20th to order one. So what was not mentioned today was anything about new iPads. iPad should get iOS 7 on September 18th, but there was no talk of a 5th generation iPad or 2nd generation iPad mini. So perhaps there'll be a future announcement in coming weeks for that. There's also no talk about OS 10 or new Mac models. It's likely if there are new Mac models, we'll just see them appear in the Apple Store and perhaps there'll be a press release. But there should be some talk or some announcement of the release of Mavericks in the coming weeks as well. We just have to wait for those. Hope you found this useful. Till next time, this is Gary with MacMost Now. If you found this video useful, there's one thing you can do for me in return. It won't cost you anything and it'll just take you a few seconds. If you're not already at MacMost.com, go there and then look for the video you just watched and go to that page. Underneath the video you'll see a bunch of different links that help you share the video with friends. Take a second to click the like button. This sends a signal out to the rest of the internet that the video is worth watching. Thanks.